Hey guys, what's up? So the next poem I'm going to be reading is 908, and this is called The Actor Vs. the Role. I really liked the concept of this. It's actually more of a story. It's about a great actor that puts 100% in every film he has ever made in his career. He even goes way and beyond to help the other stars, doing his own stunts. He even leaves the directors, producers, screenwriters flabbergasted by his work. However, there is a role that he probably would never win an Oscar for: playing himself. The actor versus the role. So we are practicing going through all the scenes where I'm doing the jump off the moving car before the big explosion. The director shouted, "Cut!" as I stepped foot off stage, walking closer to him. He took off his glasses and looked at me with a serious look. "Is there something you would like me to do differently?" He nodded his head. "No, not at all. You're actually perfect. But are you sure you don't want a stuntman? I mean, this is a lot of work. You are the only actor in this picture that is doing it." I smiled and said, "It's no problem." He took the cigar out of his mouth as the fumes blew in the air. After a few minutes, he shouted, "All right, let's do this again. Action!" While on break, the fiery, sexy, exotic antagonist, which is an unknown but very beautiful, eventually ends up betraying him, has a few words right outside the studio. "You are phenomenal. I mean, there was not one scene where you screwed up. Do you have any advice for me?" She smiled at me as she got closer to my chest. "Well, look at it this way. Don't try to be the role. Own the character. Let it become you." She smiled as she touched my hand. The director came outside. "All right, let's go. Come on, let's do the last scene for the day." Gates opened. There were all these fans standing outside. Some were holding pictures, movie posters. I smiled and waved while the car parked in the front entrance of my mansion near the Adonis water fountain. I walked inside and saw my wife. I gave her a kiss on the cheek. "You look as beautiful as ever." We met back 12 movies ago. We did a film called Meeting on the Metro. It was about a love affair. My agent thought we would be perfect together. She would lighten my image and I would bring edgy to hers. "I don't know what I'm going to do with your son. He's been playing with Emily's dolls again." I shook my head disappointed. "Don't worry. I'll have a talk with him." She smiled as I walked away. I walked by the waiting living room. I noticed the bushes in the backyard have been cut, but messy. Samantha the maid passed by with a smile as she asked me, "For tonight's celebration, what would you like, sir? Lobster, salmon, or chicken?" I couldn't really decide, so I just said, "Whatever you decide, I'm sure we'll be fine." She was about to go into the kitchen when I said, "Where's Thomas? I need to talk about the edges. He left a mess outside." She stopped for a minute to speak and said, "Oh, he's in the garage, sir." I was about to head that way to give him a piece of my, when all of a sudden there was a knock on the door. My wife answered it. The designer that worked for both her and I walked in with a few people behind him with dozens of gowns and suits. "So what is it going to be tonight? Versace, Chanel, Gucci, or Prada?" She quickly went to one of the gowns in love while I waved to her saying, "Just pick whatever you think suits me, honey." I walked a little further until I made it to the garage. I opened the door as I saw him putting all the tools away. I shut the door loudly as he got alarmed. "Is that how you leave the backyard? It's a mess." He got up from the chair, looking really worried. "Look, I'll go fix it right now. Just please don't fire me. I really need this job." I gave him this stern look as if I was going to approach him. As he got up, we both looked at each other as I touched his bicep and started kissing him, pushing him on the car. 7 months later, at an award show, and actors naming all the nominees for the best actor in a great film. I'm sitting right next to my wife and children. He says my name as there's a round of applause. I get up as I fix my tie with a smile and walk down the red carpet, up the stairs, and accept my award. While up there, for the first time in my life, I couldn't think of a word to say. Perhaps because I had no lines.